Live stream. My name is Alicia, and in this week's live lesson, we are going to talk about how to talk about recent news. In today's lesson, we are going to cover some very basic patterns you can use to start conversations about recent news topics, to join the conversation, to ask confirmation questions, checking questions, and to give your opinion. So today's lesson will be very kind of open in the sense that we're not going to talk about specific news articles, but we're going to talk about patterns that you can use to express your own ideas about these things. Okay, cool. So as you join, please make sure to hit the like button and of course share this video so that other people can find today's lesson. That would be super cool. So while we wait, a couple of quick announcements. The first thing is about this banner at the bottom of the screen. It says test your level now. The team has created a level check test. So if you want to check your English language learning level, you can click the link that's in the YouTube description below this video if you're watching on YouTube, or above the video if you're watching on Facebook. You will find this page. So you can log in if you have an account with EnglishClass101.com. You can put your login here and do it. If you do not have an account, you can make one for free. So you just need your name and your email address to do that. If you go down on this page, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 steps to finish everything, and at the end of your test, you will get a score and some recommendations for some lessons and some pathways to take. So check this out if you want to know your level and get some ideas for what to study next. Lots of you ask about that. So check this out. The team put that together as a resource for you to use. That is announcement number 1. Announcement number 2, as always, if you have questions for me, please send them to me, but please send them to the official question submission page. Don't send them to me on Instagram or on Twitter or on Facebook comments. I don't even know. Please send them to the official Ask Alicia question submission page. This is at EnglishClass101.com/ask-Alicia. There is a link for this in the YouTube description, or you can check any Ask Alicia video on our YouTube channel. There is definitely a link there. Send me your questions about vocabulary, prepositions, some weird phrase you learned somewhere, whatever it is. Send it to me and I will definitely read your question and I will maybe answer it. So please send it to me there. Don't send it somewhere else because there are too many comments and I will not see it if you don't send it to the official question submission page. So please do that. All right, I think everything is rolling. It looks like Facebook is here, YouTube is here. Welcome everybody. I think it looks good. All right, I think that's all for announcements. Yes. Oh, and if you want to find me on social media, Instagram and Twitter links are in the YouTube description, so find me there. Okay, let's get to making sure everything is rolling today. I think it's good. Hi Facebook, welcome Facebook. Hi Amazon Rainforest Guide. What's up from Ecuador Rainforest? That's cool. Hey Rashad, hello. Murad, hello. Alberto, hello. Good, Facebook's here. YouTube, are you here? What's up, YouTube? What's up? Hi, Santiago. Yeah, Frankie. Hi, Robson from Brazil. What's up? Kanmin, how to write an essay. Different topic from today. Okay. Others, Vanessa from Brazil. Juan Mendoza, ¿cómo estás? Bien. Muy bien. Yeah, okay. Everything looks great. Everything's rolling. Let's get to today's topic. So, as I said, today's topic is about how to discuss recent news. So we're going to look at some very kind of open patterns to do this. Let's look at today's lesson boards. All right, today we're going to look at this in I guess 4-ish, kind of 4 parts. We're going to start with conversation starters. So questions you can ask or statements to start the conversation about the news. Second, how to join the conversation, so after someone asks you this question, and how to confirm details. Finally, we're going to talk about some interesting expressions for giving your opinion about these topics too, okay? So if you have questions about today's lesson, send it in the chat. And of course, if you want to send some example sentences, I will also check those live too. Okay, let's go. So let's start with conversation starters. I chose just a few very common conversation starters. Of course, there are other ones, but I want to cover a few very, very common ones. So you can send your news topic as an example sentence in the chat. So I will try to check live. Let's take a look. First one. Did you see the news about noun phrase? So we end this pattern. Did you see the news about noun phrase? Okay. We can also use did you hear? You can change this verb. Did you hear the news about? That's also okay. So did you hear the news or did you see the news about, for example, COVID numbers this week? So COVID numbers means case numbers. Did you see the news about COVID numbers this week? So usually there's some kind of change or something special we want to introduce with this pattern. Or did you see the news about Elon Musk's space project? So if you don't know Elon Musk, he's a very famous, very rich person with lots of interesting tech projects. Okay, so did you see the news about Elon Musk's space project? So use this simple past tense pattern. Did you see the news about noun phrase? Did you see the news about noun phrase? Okay, I'll look for your examples. Ahmed says, did you hear the news about the forecast? Good, good, good. If you want to talk about the weather, we probably don't need this part because the weather is a very common topic for discussion. If you want to ask about the weather, just say, did you see the forecast? Did you see the forecast? That's more natural, okay? Did you see the forecast? It's good. Alberto says, did you see the news? Did you see, don't forget your verb, yeah? Did you see the news about Alicia's new lesson? Something like that would work, yeah. So don't forget your verb here. Also, you can use have you heard. You can use a present perfect grammar point to express this question too. Have you heard the news about COVID numbers? Have you heard the news about Elon's space project? And so on. Raquel says, did you see the news about wild animals at the zoo? Nice one, Raquel. Okay, great. Okay. Other ones, I don't see other questions yet or other examples. Okay, so this is our first pattern to start the conversation, okay? Ahmed says, did you see the news about the presidential election? Good, good, good. Yeah, very nice. Mehboob says, did you hear the news about Ukraine-Russia war, the Ukraine-Russia war? Yeah, good example, okay? Zuen says, did you see the news about the Philippines election? Nice, okay, good one. Good. Yeah, so I mentioned this a minute ago. Did you see versus have you seen? You can use both. They are both 100% correct to use here. Did you see the news about? Have you seen the news about? Did you see sounds like it's finished. Have you seen sounds like maybe you expect the other person is going to do that. So it's a very small difference in this case. They're both 100% correct to use. Okay? All right, let's go to the next pattern. Okay, so this is not a question. This is one you can use if you got some information and you want to share that to start the conversation. For example, I read an article about noun phrase. I read an article about noun phrase. So, I read an article about the war in Ukraine. I read an article about noun phrase. So here's my noun phrase, the war in Ukraine. Or, I read an article about recent gas prices, gasoline prices. So this introduces the topic of conversation, and you are saying, I read an article about it. So you're saying, I got some information, I read some information, I'm ready to talk about this thing. So this is the topic. So I read an article about noun phrase. This is another really good way to start the conversation. Okay? All right. I see lots of people are writing the did you see pattern. Nice. People are doing a nice job with this did you see pattern. Okay? So I read an article about thing. Robson says, I read an article about unemployment before COVID. Nice. Good. Nice example. Shang says, did you see the news about the springtime yet? Okay. Did you see the news about spring yet? Maybe. Okay. Other ones. Sometimes Facebook cuts off comments. What's the deal? I can't see it. Okay, Carlos, you have a nice start to your sentence. I read an article about the alarming number. I can't see your full comment. I don't know. All right. Then I read an article about Lake Atitlan in Guatemala. Nice one. Okay, that's cool. I don't know anything about that. Wow, lots of you are sending examples here on YouTube. I read an article about data science. Good, okay. I read an article about geopolitics this morning. Ooh, good topic for sure. Okay. Other ones. I'm looking for your other ones. Okay. Good. Oh, someone on Facebook. I can't read your name. I'm sorry. It says, I am reading about the war in Gaza. I'm reading maybe about something. You can use a progressive tense sentence here. So I used in my example a past tense. I read an article about. You can say I'm reading about topic. That's great too. So that shows you are studying that topic now. Also, okay. All right. Good. Okay, your sentences look nice. So let's continue to the third pattern today. So when somebody asked earlier about the expression like in the news, this expression uses in the news. So I saw, again, past tense, I saw in the news that some verb phrase. We use a progressive verb phrase or a past tense verb phrase. We can change this. So I saw in the news that, don't forget this, I saw in the news that gas prices are going up. I saw in the news that gas prices are going up, or gas prices are increasing. Or I saw in the news that someone won the lottery. I saw in the news that someone won the lottery. So they won a big cash prize, a big money prize. And I saw in the news that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. You saw this in the news recently. Famous actor and comedian had a fight on TV. So I saw in the news that. So you might also hear I saw on the news. That's also okay. This I saw in the news. This is very open. It can mean TV news. It can mean newspaper news. It can mean an article you read on a news site somewhere. This in the news is very open. It just means in recent news stories. Okay? So I saw in the news that something. Okay. Okay, I'm looking for your examples. Some of you are writing comments that are not about today's lesson. I am not going to read them. I saw in the news that the war is ending. We hope that all wars end, right? Okay. I saw on TV that the airport is finished. Nice example sentence. Okay. Oh my goodness, some very dark sentences are coming in. Okay. I saw in the news that verb phrase. Okay. I saw in the news that someone has died. Okay, yes, that generally happens in news topics. Okay. Some examples are coming in. A few of them are coming in. Generally, they look good. A little dark. So let's try to talk about some more positive topics, maybe. Maybe we can talk about some positive things. But so far, so good. Nice questions here. Let's stop here and we'll take a quick break and then we'll go to part 2. So if you missed it earlier, I mentioned this banner at the bottom of the screen. It says test your level now. If you want to check your English level, our team has created an assessment test for you. I showed it earlier. If you click the link below the video, if you're watching on YouTube, or above the video, if you're watching on Facebook, you will find this page. This is the bottom. So you can take a level check test and your results will look something like this. So you'll get some recommendations for lessons and for courses on English Class 101 to take. So check this out if you're not sure maybe what to study next, or if you want to study with our lessons, the videos and audio lessons with us. So check this out below the video if you're watching on YouTube, above the video if you're watching on Facebook. Okay? All right, let's go to part 2. Also, if you haven't, please make sure to hit the like button, yeah, and share this video so other people can find today's lesson. All right, let's continue to part 2. So in part 2, we're going to talk about 2 points, joining the conversation and confirmation questions. So first part, joining the conversation. So this comes after someone says to you, did you see the news about blah, blah, blah? Or have you heard about blah, blah, blah? So when you want to pick up from that question, here's what you can say. So yes and no, basically. You could say, I read about that, or I read about that too. Or I heard about that. I heard about that too. So when someone says, for example, did you see the news about COVID numbers this week? You could say, oh yeah, I heard about that. Or I heard about that too, if they say, I read an article. So you might think, when should I use this to? Why do you have this here? I put to at the end of this in parentheses because if someone starts with this one, they start with this statement, I read an article about news topic, then you can say, oh, I read about that too. It's natural to say, I did that too. So I would not use to after a question, like did you hear about, have you heard about? I would use to after a statement. I heard about this topic. Oh yeah, I heard about that too. So I would use to in those cases. Okay? All right, let's see. I'm looking for your examples. I saw in the news Obamacare came back. Obamacare came back. I saw in the news that Obama went to the White House this week. I saw that, and they're doing some stuff. So I saw that. All right, let's go to the next one. I saw that. I saw that. This is a really great, easy, short way to say, yes, I also saw that article, or I saw that news. I saw that. Past tense, yeah? So your tense is really important. Okay? All right, other ones. Next, very important, when you did not read about it or you do not know about the topic, how do you express that? You can say, no, I haven't read about that yet. I haven't read about that yet. So this sounds like I didn't read about it, but I'm planning to, or I'm interested in that topic. Maybe I'm going to read it later. So I haven't read about that yet. You can follow up the next question. No, I haven't read about that yet. What happened? For past tense. I haven't read about that yet. What happened? Barack Obama went to the White House? What happened? Or, no, I haven't read about that yet. What's going on? What's going on? So this going, right? Progressive. So something is happening now. What's going on? I haven't read about the war in Ukraine. What's going on? Or what happened? I'm sorry. This is like a past tense, something that is finished. This one, what's going on, sounds like it's continuing. What's going on? Okay. All right. Okay. I'm looking for your examples. I'm planning to read about that tomorrow. Okay. I read about that, but I don't remember. Yeah, you can say that. Oh, I read something about that, but I don't remember the details. Good. Okay. Saviel says, I heard in the news Will Smith slapped an American comedian last week. Yes, that was very interesting. Okay. All right. So we have these ways to join the conversation. Yes, I heard about that. Yes, I saw that. Or no, I haven't read about that. No, I haven't seen that yet. What happened? Right? So these are ways to continue the conversation. All right. Good. So let's continue now to confirmation questions. I want to spend some time with these types of questions because they're negative questions and they're very important to use correctly to check details. So what's a confirmation question? A confirmation question is something we use to check our understanding. So when someone says, did you hear the news about Obama's visit to the White House last week? You can say, what? Like, didn't they talk about Obamacare or something like that? So our first pattern is didn't, subject, past tense, verb, phrase. Didn't they do this? Didn't they do that? Didn't that just happen? Didn't, subject, past tense, verb, phrase. For example, with our Elon Musk example, didn't Elon Musk just buy a lot of Twitter stock? Didn't Elon Musk just buy a lot of Twitter stock? So we use this pattern to say, I think this is correct. Is this correct? So we use this negative pattern to confirm. I think this is correct. Is this correct? Yes, it is. Okay. Didn't this happen? No. All right, so didn't subject past tense verb phrase. Or with our Obama example, didn't Obama just visit the White House? Didn't Obama just visit the White House? So we use these past tense negative questions to confirm our understanding. Okay? Then one more pattern. This one is more open. We're using isn't or aren't for singular, one, and plural, more than one, subject. So isn't or aren't, subject, something, something. This part is very open. We can use an adjective here. We can use a progressive verb form. Basically, we want to confirm the condition or the status of something. So, for example, aren't gas prices really high? Aren't gas prices really high? Here's my adjective, high, and an emphasis, really high. Aren't gas prices, plural, so we're using aren't, are not. So aren't gas prices really high right now? Or singular, isn't the government making a policy change? Isn't the government making a policy change? Here we have a progressive verb. Isn't the government doing this thing now? Isn't the government making a policy change? These kinds of questions are very important. They show you are following the conversation and they are checking your understanding with the other person. Okay? So I'm looking for your examples. Okay. Some people are responding. Some people are responding to these questions. Okay. Some people are writing confirmation questions. Didn't she come to school yesterday? Nice. Okay. Let's see. Didn't Elon Musk is just the first trillionaire? So didn't is a past tense expression. Use isn't. Isn't Elon Musk the first trillionaire? Isn't. Is he? I don't know. Is he the first trillionaire? I thought he was still billions. He's the richest person, I think. Isn't he? I think he is. Okay. So we use isn't for those singular things. So didn't is for past tense expressions. Okay? How do I use isn't in the final? You mean at the end of the sentence? We can use it like isn't it? Isn't it? So to confirm things like, oh, it's really hot today, isn't it? You can use it like that, a bit different from today. Okay, oh my gosh, time is going quickly. So we've talked about how to join the conversation, yes and no, and how to confirm our understanding. Okay, so let's continue to a quick break, and then we'll finish with some very straightforward, easy to understand opinion expressions. So quickly, if you missed it, there is this banner at the bottom of the screen that says, test your level now. If you want to check out your English level, if you want to take a free test to see what your English level is, check the link below the video on YouTube or above the video on Facebook. You will find the link for the test and you will get your results with some recommendations for courses and pathways on our website at EnglishClass101.com. So check this out if you want to see your level. It's free. You need your name and an email address only. All right, let's continue to the last part. Let's talk about giving your opinion. So how do we express our opinion? About good things, about bad things. Let's go down the list of some very helpful expressions. First, for a bad situation, I think it's awful. I think it's awful. Or I think it's terrible. I think it's awful. I think it's terrible. These two mean the same thing. Very, very bad. I think it's awful. I think it's terrible. So something is very bad. We can express our opinion with this. I think it's awful. Or for a situation, if the situation seems bad, so things don't look good. Things don't look good. Things don't look good. Like, I don't know, but things don't look good. So this expresses maybe you're not sure, you don't have all the details, but things don't look good. All right? Okay, next one. I hope things improve. I hope things improve. So I hope things improve means I hope the situation gets better. I hope the situation gets better. But I hope things improve. I hope things improve. Okay? The next one is this one. The whole situation is crazy. The whole situation is crazy. So whole, with a W, the whole situation means 100% of this thing, 100% of this situation is just crazy. I can't understand it. It's wild. It's nonsense. The whole situation is crazy. Okay? The whole situation is crazy. All right? And this one too. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. So this means something has no logic. I can't understand the logic of this situation. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Okay? All right? Almost there. Time is going very quickly, but it makes no sense. Then, for good ideas, good situations in the news. Oh, I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. All right? And lastly, honestly, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. This is a really important one. So if you don't have enough information, if you don't know, you can say, honestly, I don't know. I don't know. So you don't have to have a perfect opinion about everything. Sometimes you don't know, and that's okay. So honestly, I don't know. That's perfectly okay to use. All right? So these are some very straightforward, very easy to remember ways to express your feelings about recent news topics. Yeah? So if it's negative, oh gosh, I hope things improve, it's crazy. Or if it's positive, I think it's a good idea, I like it. Or very importantly, I don't know. I really don't know. So all of these are, I know they're very simple and very short, but these are really common ways to express your opinions. Okay? All right. So I'm now just about out of time. So that is everything that I have for this week. Awesome. All right. I don't see other questions right now, but it looks, let's see. Mei Tu Ang on Facebook says, is whole equal to entire? Yeah. In this sentence, yes, you can use the entire situation is crazy. Yes, those are interchangeable here. We can use either one. So 100% of the situation is crazy. Yes, that is fine to use. Thank you for your question. Okay. Facebook, I can't see from the ads. Don't use that small board. I can't put a big board. This is my house. This is my space. I don't have room. Okay. All right. Other points. Let's see. Okay, I don't see any other questions, so I think I'll wrap it up there for this week. Awesome. So thank you for your questions and for your great example sentences. I have to finish it up. So let's wrap it up. Here are today's lesson boards. If you want to take a screenshot, this is what we talked about today. So today we talked about conversation starters, how to start the expression or start the conversation with some questions. Then we talked about how to join the conversation, how to confirm we read something or did not. And we also talked about confirmation questions to check our understanding. Finally, we talked about how to give your opinion. What do you think about this recent news topic? Okay, cool. So that's it for this week. But if you are sad and you missed this week's lesson, don't worry. This week is not the last one. Next week I'll be back as always. Next week's lesson information is here. Next week I'll be back again. Next week, Wednesday, April 13th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is New York City time. If you don't know your local time, please Google it. Use your excellent Google skills. Or you can set a notification on Facebook or on YouTube. Or if you follow me on Instagram, I always post a link and a topic reminder in my Instagram stories. So follow me on Instagram from the link below the video on YouTube. Twitter's there too. Next week, I'm going to talk about how to talk about upcoming changes. So upcoming means something going to happen soon in the future. So how to talk about upcoming changes, like with will be done. This thing will be done. Or this thing will stop. Or is going to. So we're going to do some future tense practice next week. Very popular topic. Lots of questions about these. So please join next week to talk about this topic. Okay, I have to finish there for today. Thank you, as always, for joining me. I'm looking for your notes and questions. All right, cool. Everything looks good, so I will say goodbye there. Don't forget, if you want to check your level, make sure to take a look. Click the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, above the video on Facebook, to take the level check test. You can do this for free, so check it out if you have some time today or tomorrow or this weekend. See what we recommend for you. Maybe it will help you find something new for your studies. Okay, I have to say goodbye for now. So have a great day, have a great week, the rest of your week, have a great weekend, and I will see you again next time. Bye.